Good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon, friends. Friends, I noticed that some of the delegates have been congratulating the wrong MC. The MC who performed on day one was Dr. Aditi Sethia. And then I saw some of the delegates congratulating somebody else thinking that she was Aditi. That's a fact. So, since now you have already congratulated her, let me introduce this MC for today. So friends, it's my honor to introduce to you today an MC. On day one, it was doctor. On the last session, it's also going to be doctor. So she is a master of ceremony whose life and work is dedicated to one of the noblest profession, being a doctor. But other than being a doctor, she is a specialist into saving lives. She is working on saving lives, especially into emergency care. Very specialized field. She has been born in a small town of Igatpuri, around 200 kilometers from here. But she has come a really long way after that. By profession, she is a doctor, deeply involved in the specialty field of life-saving medical emergencies. Not only does she save lives, but she trains people how to do so. She has developed her own kits, especially for whenever there is a sudden heart attack or immediately first what you call the golden few minutes. So she has developed very specialty kits and she has trained so many doctors and literally saved thousands of lives today. Through her work, as I told, she has already saved thousands of lives. Her stress busters are obviously swimming and dancing. She is recently married to Miltonian Akshay, into a family of Miltonians having already half a dozen of Miltonians. But what makes her truly special, and I've personally experienced, is her willingness to learn something new. She's always ready to learn pegging. She's ready to do dramatizations. You name her and she's always ready. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the master of ceremony for the last session of Josh25, Miltonian Dr. Ruchita Chordia.
Thank you, Vikram, for that wonderful introduction. So, my dear Miltonians, how is the Josh? Let me welcome you to the evening where spirits rise, dreams ignite, and every soul shines brighter than ever, isn't it?
Yes!
Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Who said this? Yes, my friends, you're right. It's Swami Vivekananda. The moment you realize your true potential, you arise. The moment your heart catches fire with purpose, you ignite. And the moment you keep going, undeterred, until the goal is reached, you shine. And when you shine, something magical happens. You don't just light your own path, you become a beacon, helping people grouping the darkness of ignorance to lights of awareness. And long after you're gone, that light continues to shine, to guide, to inspire, and be remembered. That is the kind of life we must aim to live. Not just existing, but shining. There was this man who embodied this in his life. Born in a humble fishing family in Rameshwaram, selling newspapers as a boy to support his family. Yet, His passion for science ignited a fire. He rose to join ISRO and DRDO, became the Missile Man of India, and later, President of our nation. Yes, I'm talking about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. From Rameshwaram to Rashtrapati Bhavan, a journey that lit up millions of lives. His story still inspires us today. But friends, inspiration is not just a privilege for a few. It's also in our own journeys. Let me share a part of my story. While in final year of graduation, I fell in love. Not with a person, but with a subject, medicine. So much so that I read a 3,000-page textbook more than 10 times and wanted to read it again. That year, I didn't just stop my college. I topped the entire university, entire state. The shine had begun. I thought my story had reached its climax. But as they say, picture abhi baki hai mere dost. The real test was not exams, it was patience. Critical care became my second passion. In ICU, every second counts, every heartbeat matters. After working for several years in critical care, including 6 intense months in COVID ICU, I realized this was my calling. To pull someone back from the edge of death, that satisfaction is beyond words. Then came another turning point. In June 2022, I married a handsome young IT professional, love of my life. Moved to a new city. From comforts and familiarity of Nashik, I moved to whole new city of Pune. I soon realized my years of hard work, trust building, skills were invisible on paper. New people, new challenges, new hospital. Fear crept in, but I kept going. Along the way, I realized something deeper. Junior doctors, often the first to see critical patients, were not fully trained for critical care. Lives were being lost not because of lack of efforts, but because of lack of hands-on training. The flame wasn't brighter until I was introduced to Milt. Being married in a family of Miltonians, I had heard a lot about Milt. I did many Milt alumni until I myself became a Miltonian. I did my Milt leadership course in 2023. And to my surprise, I discovered myself in the course. I learned more about myself in those sessions than I had in years. The thought that let this world be a little better because I came here struck a deep chord. I began reflecting, what impact was I making? Could I make more? It dawned on me, the junior doctors, often the first to see critical patients, did not get adequate hands-on during their medical school. I realized I was lucky enough to get that chance. Could I pass it on? I discussed the idea with consultants at my hospital. They welcomed it. I started using hospital's conference room for lectures and ICU rounds to teach critical care practically. I enrolled first batch of 15 students. What started as a small initiative, now as a team, we have trained more than 400 young doctors. Alone, I could save some lives, but through them, I could save thousands. And that is the power of compassion, dedication, and determination. Once it starts in you, it doesn't stop, it spreads. Friends, roads will have hurdle. Challenges will test you. Doubts will whisper, can you really do this? But if your inner light burns bright, no storm is too strong to pull you down. No darkness is too intense to overshadow you. As Dr. Kalam once said, ignite your inner fire, rise with purpose, and shine so bright that others find their light too. So tonight, I urge you not to keep your light to yourself, but spread it, share it, let it guide others. Because one day, the world should look at you and say, because you were here, this world is a brighter place. Thank you.